One of the biggest things that Avengers Endgame did not wrap up was a very pivotal scene during Avengers Infinity War when Thanos and Iron Man are fighting on the planet Titan, or what remains of Titan. And Iron Man says to Thanos, after Thanos calls him by his name, Stark, "You know me?" That's what Iron Man says to Thanos, and Thanos replies, "You're not the only one cursed with knowledge." Now, this is a very pivotal scene and something that is not quite adequately delved into in Endgame, but I feel like has a lot of implications and a lot to do with everything that's been going on in all of the Avengers series. This kind of ties back into something else that is very pivotal, which is during Civil War during Age of Ultron, when the Scarlet Witch puts her hand on Iron Man's temple and he has a vision of Cap lying with his shield broken, and we find out that vision comes to pass, and Tony in Iron Man 3 has all these nightmares about the Earth getting attacked by essentially Thanos' armies. And even during Infinity War, when Gamora is telling Iron Man about the arrival of Thanos, he acts like this is it. This is the big one. This is what he had been thinking about. There's kind of this premonition that Tony has about the arrival of Thanos, similar to the kind of pre-knowledge that Thanos had about who Stark is and how he is a big threat to him. And the question then becomes what are these ties that bind Thanos and Stark, and also that allow both of them to kind of have this precognition about what's coming? And neither of them have any of these psychic powers, especially not Tony Stark, who's essentially a human, to be able to have this. So why do we have this in the first place? And the answer to this is quite interesting, and a clue of it is given during Nebula's story arc during Endgame, when the past and future versions of her are able to kind of connect, share a memory, and pass it on from one point to another. And I feel like something similar happens with both Tony Stark and Thanos. Those are the two people that, Tony Stark and Thanos, they used the Gauntlet, they used the Time Stone, they used the entirety of its power to change the balance of the universe dramatically. And as a result, what happens is an imprint of what they do gets placed into their memory, an imprint of what they perform, the act of wearing the gauntlet, the act of using the gauntlet gets imprinted into their personality, into their mind, the Mind Stone, into the time before they had used it in their past selves, the Time Stone. And it gives them this premonition, this knowledge that something sinister is coming, even though it has not happened yet, because the power of the Infinity Stones, the power of the Gauntlet, allows it to transcend time back and forth, which is why, even though Tony Stark has not yet met Thanos or met his army, he has dreams about it, because he has been there. He has used the Infinity Gauntlet in that situation. Even though he's not met Thanos, he knows that this big bad guy is coming. He knows that this is someone whose destiny he is tied to. He knows this is someone that he will eventually cause the end of and meet his end with. And kind of the similar situation goes on with Thanos and his mindset, having used the Infinity Gauntlet himself, not on one occasion, but on multiple occasion, that it causes kind of reverberations through time, whether you consider it a linear timeline or whether you consider it a splinter timeline from the events of the Avengers Endgame. The fact is that the act of using that gauntlet had a reflection through the entirety of Thanos' life, which kind of gives him this little mental knowledge, this little mental state. And that is why when they come face to face, in Infinity War, before what happens in Endgame, before their destinies, which are intertwined with each other, when Tony Stark dies and kills Thanos, they kind of have this knowledge that they have already met, that they already know each other. And Thanos has that respect for Tony Stark, and Tony Stark has that fear of Thanos. Let me know what you guys think about this theory in the comment section below. And please like and subscribe for more videos like this.